Hi there, warm welcome. You're watching the Blueprint Explosive Exclusive, and I'm Meghna Deka. First up, it's going to be a rather unappetizing story, but it's something which concerns everyone, you and me alike. Well, summers are usually the season for fun and frolic, but this season has taken a dark turn this year. It has become a season for shock and horror. Across India, series of bizarre videos have been surfacing all across social media as well as complaints. From finger in an ice cream to snakes in a delivery box to a rat and a frog in packets of food, consumable products. It all began when a doctor in Mumbai found a finger in his ice cream after a case was registered against Yamo. The cops have now confirmed that this finger belonged to one of the workers who worked in the Pune factory of this. Now, while the manufacturer has blamed the third-party facility, FSSAI has now suspended its license. Next came another bizarre story. A couple found a snake in the package that they ordered online from their Amazon app. Imagine you order a gaming equipment only to realize that you are the one who was being played. The couple in Bengaluru had ordered an Xbox controller online, but a serpent, surprise, came in the delivery box. You can see that on your screens, a snake creeping out from the packaging. Well, responding to this incident, the platform Amazon has ordered a probe. It's issued a statement as well, saying that it is their commitment to go above and beyond to make things right for its customers. And now, finally, a video has gone viral online where a woman has found a dead rat in a chocolate syrup bottle. Well, this woman has said that there are 3 members of her family who consumed this contaminated syrup, and one of them even had to receive medical treatment after eating it. After the video went viral, the company has apologized to the customer and has assured all possible assistance. But look at how gruesome this is. Unfortunately, that's not all. In Gujarat's Jamnagar, a 9-year-old child found the remains of a dead frog in a packet of potato wafers. Civic authorities have ordered an inquiry and collected samples after this incident has been reported. But let me go across to our guests. We have Meghna Mishra, who's joining us, a consumer rights activist. Welcome to the show. A rather unappetizing story, but what do we do? And that is literally the question that I'm going to ask you before we take in some of the call-in viewers who are going to be calling us as well. What do we do when we get a shock like this, when we open a tub of ice cream, when we lick a ice cream lolly, when we look at chocolate syrup, that there are these unappetizing things coming out of our consumable products? What do we do, Meghna Mishra?
Meghna, you are absolutely right. It's horrifying and it's gruesome also. You know, I mean, there are only 3 things the consumer can do. You know, unfortunately, in our country, the consumers are quite helpless and they are having several challenges. So the first thing is you boycott buying products from that organization or company. You need to stop buying from such companies because that's a big lesson which the consumers can give to these organizations which do not follow standards, are most unhygienic, and do not bother about the consumer's health and safety. So first is boycott them. That's the first thing one should do. The second thing you should do is you must complain to the regulator in writing. You just can't get away and ignore it. You have to complain. And not only complain, the third is you have to take it to its logical end. The citizens must take it to its logical end, must claim compensation for undermining their rights. They must claim compensation for the horror they have gone through, you see, and the kind of substandard, unsafe products being sold. You know, it is the responsibility of the regulator to look at these issues in a very, very stringent manner and take action on such organizations by not only waiting for complaints, but they should be visiting these places.
Absolutely. Very relevant point. First, you must ensure that you're buying products from the right platforms. Then you also must see if there is any kind of accountability which is fixed. And of course, finally, there is going to be compensation that you must demand. You must complain about it and then demand compensation. Let me go across to our viewers. Several of our viewers are calling in. We are flashing those numbers at the bottom of your screens. What do you think about it? You can pick up your phones and give us a call. Our viewer, Jaya, is calling us from Mumbai. Go ahead, Jaya. What would you like to say?
Yes, such an international company, where there was a snake earlier. We have heard now of a human finger, for which explanation has already been given by you. But isn't it appalling that not only that ice cream pack with the human finger has gone to many people? We do not know how many more have consumed it.
Absolutely.
It was found out. That is one. And such an international company like the reputed company like the Amazon. What are the safety methods for customers that they are following? Don't you think we all viewers and all those who are ordering online require high standards of customer service? I do not know much about the about the laws of India, but the law of torts appears to be very weak in India, and we Indian people are being taken for a ride by them. Heavy penalty has to be imposed.
Absolutely.
Not only compensation and damages for the people who are the victims, but heavy penalty, and only then will these companies realize that they are in for trouble, and they should be held accountable. Who are the staff responsible for this specific package?
Jaya, you've made a very relevant point that let's not forget. These are the people who found it. But for example, if the chocolate syrup is contaminated with a dead rat, only one person found it. There's a possibility that there's an entire batch of contaminated syrup as well. Accountability needs to be fixed. Let me go across to our next viewer. Colonel Hingorani is also joining us from Pune. Go ahead, sir.
Good evening. This is Colonel Hingorani.
Good evening, sir.
I traveled from Mumbai to Delhi and Delhi to Kathmandu on the 20th of May 2024. Air India flight 866 from Bombay and 215 from Delhi to Kathmandu. During the flight, the food served to me was a smelling bun, which was served to me as a passenger.
Okay.
The same was returned, and he said, "Sir, one word, sorry, because it is the cheapest word, free of cost. I'll get you another one." Another one came. I opened the butter. The butter had hair in it.
Oh, goodness.
Amul butter. A photograph was taken, shared with the thing, "Sir, we will report, we will do this, we will do that." And today is 19th of June, nothing.
Nothing has happened.
Nothing. Air India. Written complaint given.
In fact, this is a time for me to bring in Bijon Mishra. Bijon Mishra, how would you like to advise? There are viewers who are calling in, and they're absolutely right. We're not dealing with unknown little local brands. Some of them are the biggest brands, not just in India, but across the world, global brands. And this is the kind of service that we are getting. What do we do?
No, as I mentioned, Meghna, we have to raise our voice. Like one of the callers who talked about the horrifying, incident while he was flying from Mumbai to Kathmandu. My contention is he cannot give it up. It has to be taken forward. He has to ensure that they respond. How can they get away without response? They have to write to the highest authority, including our Honorable Prime Minister, including the Aviation Minister, including the regulator. Everybody should come to know that even after complaining, they don't respond to the consumers. I hear this every day from hundreds of people who write to me, telling me that they don't get a response. And then when I intervene, then of course, I'm sure you also will face the same response, that when media takes it up, there are responses which come. So we have to work together to wake them up. And that's why we have that tagline, Jago Grahak Jago, which is a very famous campaign. Absolutely. And one of the most successful campaigns in the country. But the most, the challenging fact is, Meghna, is that our legal justice system or redressal mechanism is so poor in the country that even if you are not heard and even if you don't get a response, the industry gets away. The service provider gets away. Nothing happens. The regulator is sleeping.
Absolutely.
They just send a so-called notice and after that they just go to sleep. We don't come to know. What action did you take?
And that's one of the problems. There may be complaints, but after that there is very little accountability. In fact, let me go across to Dr. Sanjeev Bagai also, who's joining us, the chairperson of NEFRON. Dr. Bagai, one of the callers has raised a very important, pertinent point. That what about, one person may have found, for example, a rat in the syrup, but what if the rest of the batch is also contaminated? Similarly, if there's a finger in the ice cream tub, there could be many other ice cream tubs which are also contaminated. What is the extent of a health hazard something like this could cause? Should we be alarmed?
Hi, good evening. I think this is a systemic failure. It's a failure on multiple fronts. One is, of course, of quality control and hygiene at the level of the manufacturer. Then, of course, is the issue of packing and transporting and distribution. And then the end point is, what is the implications on this on health and what action is taken? So the implications on health, depending upon what is actually found, can be huge. Right from variety of bacterial viral infections to life-threatening infections, gram-negative infections, typhoid, various kinds of things, which especially in the elderlies or in the vulnerables can cause huge problems. The other issue is the legal impact. We raise a concern. The concern is noted. It's a very cut, copy, paste kind of standard reply which is given to a consumer, and not much happens after that. So I think it's not only that particular set or that particular batch. I think the company must face punitive action and a complete overhaul of protocols of food safety norms must be enforced. That's my take on this.
Well, absolutely. Very, very relevant point that you have made. Thank you so much, Dr. Bagai, for joining us. In fact, let me go across to one of our viewers who's calling in right now. Remember, this is a call-in show. We are flashing the numbers at the bottom of your screens. You can pick up the phone and give us a call at the numbers there flashing at the screens. Now we have Captain Jaspal who's joining us from Rohtak. Go ahead, Captain Jaspal. What would you like to say?
Good evening to you. You already had two distinguished panelists. But what I want to say is that the consumer should go to the consumer forum, must get a minimum damage of 15 lakhs. All these three farms, they should be just blacklisted. Look at the shock the human being will receive when he's almost going to eat and swallow a finger of a human being, a rat, or every seed looks like a cobra. So the judicial authorities must come to the rescue and consumers must take a stand, and Times now must launch a relentless campaign.
Absolutely.
You can make the dent. Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling in, Captain Jaspal. Yes, Times Now always has been the voice for its viewers, for the people of India. When you feel that your voice is being silenced, we are the ones who are going to give you our platform. Let me go across to some of our other callers as well. We have Prajwal calling us from Bengaluru, KV Gupta joining us from Bengaluru as well. Go ahead, Prajwal. What would you like to say?
See, that is, we are from Bangalore and we are seeing that Amazon packing that is made is coming out. What a rubbish. See, what is the use of it? Okay.
Well, unfortunately, there seems to be a bit of a problem with your audio connection. Prajwal, do connect with us again. Let me go on to our other viewer who's calling as well. We have KV Gupta joining us from Bengaluru. Go ahead, Mr. Gupta.
Good evening to all the viewers and good evening to you, anchor ma'am. I don't know your name.
It's
all
Meghna,
I just want to say is, my pleasure knowing you. All I want to say is that the more and more we depend on technology to serve our needs, the more and more we start trusting blindly, these kind of things keep happening. For example, let us say we go to a restaurant, we order and then it is on the table and then we can complain to the manager immediately. So you see, when we participate in a human-to-human interaction, these kind of things don't happen. The more we depend on science and technology, the more we believe in convenience, etc., and the more we start trusting brands and their marketing, etc., this is what is going to happen. And I am 100% sure that out of 140 crore Indians, even if 10 crore Indians go through science and technology, and even if 1%, that is about 10 lakh people get these kind of things, the portals will just close and run out of India. The government also should be more strict on these kind of things, and people should go to Consumer Protection Forum. They should file cases. I don't see any Indian coming forward to file cases in the consumer forums.
Right.
I wish that they become more aware and they file cases and they fight for it. They fight for it so that all these people, all these portals, all these delivery services, everybody becomes much more
I couldn't agree with you more. This is exactly what Bijon Mishra was saying. It's time to fight for your rights, fight for the compensation, make sure there is accountability. Another one of our viewers, Vishwadev, is calling us from Asansol. Go ahead, sir.
Hello, madam. Good evening.
Good evening.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead, sir.
Madam, it's a very important problem, not in Delhi, Bombay, but it is. We have seen this type of problem in local level also, in ground level, where in a
Absolutely.
big villages or in a municipal corporation. So many laws are there in government level, that is in state and central government level. But so far my experience, nobody taken any actions from any level. When you can talk to central level, they said that your case is already referred to state level, and state level they are not taking any actions. So I have seen so many incidents happen like this in West Bengal, but no actions taken from the central level or the state level. Number one. And number two, so
right.
my some friends are talking regarding consumer forum, but those who are 50% educated or non-educated or village persons, they never go to any consumer forum.
You're absolutely right, because the awareness also of these consumer forum is limited. Jago, Grahak Jago, that is something which is very critical. The reason why, only if you have knowledge can you be empowered. Thank you so much for joining us. Another one of our viewers is calling us, Vishwanath from Hyderabad. Go ahead, Vishwanath.
Yeah, good evening to you and to your viewers. This is absolutely very concerning. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead, sir.
See, you're trifling with the lives and sentiments of customers all across in millions, right? So there are bodies, but what are those bodies doing? They appear to be toothless. We are not talking about just a few products, right from the neighborhood store to the restaurants to even five-star hotels. Wherever we have items, especially which are edible, is absolutely, like drugs. One has to be absolutely having no tolerance for these type of things.
Absolutely.
So where does the government step in? It starts with policy and regulation.
You're absolutely right. It's not just the accountability of these firms, of these platforms, but also government action is required, and urgently at that. Let me quickly go across to one of our viewers, Srinivas, joining us from Bengaluru. Go ahead, Srinivas.
Yeah, good evening. Just quickly 2 points. I mean, it is absolutely shocking. Okay. And the first thing what the government should do is suspend the license of the business company, whoever is done this. And also the Amazon is also responsible how blindly they can send the goods like these items, right?
You're absolutely right. Accountability needs to be set at several levels. At the produce, the product, of course, the packaging, the delivery, and also finally when it comes to the laws and regulations and making people aware of the laws and regulations and the legal options which are being made available to you. Are you aware enough to fight for your rights? Well, this is where Times Now will do its bit as well. Thank you so much, all the viewers who've called in today for the show, as well as Bijon Mishra, for explaining a lot about what needs to be the next step if you too get this horrifying gift in a package. You know what to do now. With that, a short break. Don't go anywhere.